Hello and welcome back to another live stream. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe as soon as you're coming in, as it says at the bottom. We are on the road to 500 subscribers, and this is a bit of a special stream. I've been wanting to do this kind of stream. It hasn't gone to the exact plan as I wanted it to because I wanted this to be my first live stream on Twitch. I actually wanted to do a Twitch live stream um, to this because I actually wanted to show the game back. I was even thinking about watching the whole game back on stream. I might do that still. If you guys want me to, let me know. But uh, I was thinking about doing that as well. Uh, and I was thinking about going through, certain things. I'm still going to share my screen and stuff and do some other stuff. But before we get into, what happened on this day a year ago, let's get into some present news. Because, funny enough, guys, some news has come out about West Ham. West Ham verbally agreed deal to sign Brazilian talent Luis Guilherme. Agreement done with Palmeiras, pending medicals to take place in England next week. 23 million fixed fee or 23 million euros, 7 million add-ons, 20% sell-on clause to Palmeiras. Final steps then, here we go. Soon. Now, this usually would be a here we go. Let's be honest. This kind of step to getting a transfer done would usually be a here we go. However, I think Fabrizio knows himself that West Ham could mess up a here we go very easily. Very, very easily. So that's why we ain't no normal club. We can mess up a here we go. Like, I don't think there's any other club that usually is in the Premier League and will mess up a here we go like we do. It's in the heritage of West Ham United. Like it's been happening for years. Like, remember the whole Kurt Zuma saga? I don't remember when it was a here we go or not, but I remember the whole Kurt Zuma saga with the whole knee injury and stuff. Like, Sullivan wanted to pull out because of dodgy knees, and we could have signed up, funny enough, for Fiorentina centre back Milenkovic. It was between them two. I obviously signed Benrahma. Everyone remembers that deal was off and on, off and on. The Emerson deal was off and on, off and on. So was the Paquetá deal. So this happens at West Ham quite a lot. But listen, I remember when last week happened, and a lot of the journalists, the Z tier journalists, the Z tier journalists, um, Jacob Steinbergs, the Jack Rosses, a minus, absolute minus journalist, doesn't report anything that's true. Said David Moyes was getting a new contract, a new 2.5-year contract, and that didn't happen. He's gone. We've got Lopetegui now. He also said that we pulled out of the deal as well and all of that stuff. But guess what? That has not happened. That has not happened, has it? Like, this is the problem with who you can trust online. I've been trying to elaborate this message and get this message into people for so long now when talking about transfers, when talking about football news. You know who the fucking trusted sources are. So stop going off every source that you see. Stop going off every source that you see. So even I got pulled in because ex West Ham employee pretty much went off the confirmation off Twitter saying that people were pulled up. Little does ex West Ham employee know that those people that are reporting that news were not reliable as well. So we didn't pull out the Guilherme deal. There was nothing from Fabrizio. Don't get me wrong, Fabrizio also said that here we go to the Bruno deal. But he just jumped the gun for that one. He didn't know that Bruno was going to ask for more money, did he? And that didn't happen either. So it's what it is, isn't it? Don't get me wrong. We're going to get into the Fiorentina final. And how I want to do this, guys, is I want to go back to that day. And what I mean, I want to go back to that day. Surely a lot of you at home that are West Ham United fans will remember that day like the back of your hand. Now, I can remember the day. Now, I was unfortunately unemployed at this point. So what I was using my time to do, I was using my time to go gym every weekday, which I still try and do, no matter if I'm working or not. I work part time now. I'm not going to say what my job is, but um, I was going to the gym. Obviously, West Ham top on and all of that stuff. I went past one of my old friends that had a West Ham top on that I haven't seen in years. Funny enough, going past, it seemed like even in Chadwell Heath, along the streets of Chadwell Heath, where everyone was getting into the fever of the cup final fever. This pretty much happened on the same day as the semi-final for AZ Alkmaar as well. Um, but with that day, what happened was, going to the gym and stuff, West Ham top, all of that. Then I went to Sainsbury's. I went to Sainsbury's and bought some alcohol. I bought Coronas. I bought like a couple of sets of Coronas. As you can see in my match reaction of the Fiorentina game, um, you will see I've got two Coronas on me. I was trying to get as drunk as possible before the game and after the game. I don't drink as much anymore, but I try to have a drink now and then because it's fun. But I was nervous. I couldn't handle the nerves. Unfortunately, I didn't get as drunk as I wanted to before the game because I had a I had a massive dinner. I had a massive dinner. I was watching a YouTube video and then the YouTube video ended right on kickoff, so I was having a massive dinner then. And then I couldn't get the drinks in me because it's all been soaked up by the amount of food I had. Um, and off we went to the game. I had what else did I have as well? I had a pina colada, one of them little shitty cans of pina colada that you shake up in Sainsbury's that cost £4, but the cans are that small. Don't get me wrong, they're fucking brilliant. They're fucking nice. There's coconut, all of that stuff, and that's nice and alcohol. But they're £4, and the volume that you're getting back was not worth the money. It was not worth the money at all. Um, but what happened was after that was the game. The game happened. Now I don't know how you guys were watching the game. I don't know how whether you guys would felt different towards watching a normal West Ham game compared to this day, because that's probably the most important game in West Ham's history since the last FA Cup that we won. And usually when I watch a West Ham game, I'm ever so slightly nervous anyway. But usually I'm low on confidence and just trying to get through the game, as I always do in West Ham games. No matter what manager we have, no matter of the quality of players that we have, we could be as good as Manchester City. I'll still go into every game thinking that we could lose just because it's West Ham, and then I'll tell you on the few times that we've lost, I told you so. That would what I would be like if we were as good as Manchester City. However, guys, this game was much different. On the day of this game, it was long. It was so long. When I couldn't watch the pre-game stuff. I just couldn't. I couldn't watch the pre-game stuff because it was only going to make me more nervous. So I wasn't watching the whole punditry stuff with Joe Cole and Colton Cole and stuff. And going into this tournament, um, just in general, talking about the Conference League, I maintained throughout the whole thing. I maintained the same energy throughout the whole thing that we were going to win the whole thing. However, guys, um, that that nearly came to a fault a couple of times. We went 1-0 down to Alkmaar. We went 1-0 down to Ghent as well. Um, the Silke Ball game away from home was dodgy. We had a couple of home games where we only won by 1 or 2 goals because it was a weird time at West Ham. I could go into it now, but I probably won't. But at the same time, with the Fiorentina game, I did feel like we were going to win throughout, but I was still nervous because it was still that emotional side in me that just couldn't take it. I couldn't. I couldn't take it. I've never been more nervous in my life because when I went to the playoff final, I was 8 years old, and I was turning 9 that year, but I was at Wembley. But as a kid, you think you're gonna win every game because you're a kid. You're fucking stupid, and you think you're the best team ever, even though you're in the championship. But I thought we were gonna win that game, and we did. We did beat Blackpool, but with Fiorentina on the other hand, I thought, okay, this is probably the hardest opponent we've had to face for in the competition. Alkmaar were the closest to that. Ghent weren't that good. We just didn't put it on them in the first leg. But with the Fiorentina game, uh, the game was going throughout. I knew what type of game it was going to be even before it started. I knew the referee was going to be as shit as he was because just our luck with the we had a very bad referee. Um, and Fiorentina, the Italiano guy, Vincento Italiano, he was like talking about dirty fouls and dirty tactics throughout the game. talking about the game and stuff, and he was like, it was like I think it was the press conference before the game talking about you got to do all the things like dirty fouls and stuff, and like try and win fouls that are not even your fouls, etc. And that happened. That happened. That happened in the game. Like it worked. The referee fell for it. Luckily, the referee kind of evened out in the second half. I do have to say, it did even out in the second half. Uh, but in the first half, it was just a hell of a lot to go through. Like it was insane the amount of stuff. Like if you remember some of the fouls, yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like there was a couple of times where we actually dived. Like Ben Rama deserved to get a yellow card in that first half because of the dive he got, etc. Antonio, there was a couple of times where he dived and he didn't deserve the fouls that he wanted. But there was a couple of times where they just fell to the floor on their face and they got the foul. And on the surface of it, it looks like it's unfair and stuff, but I don't know if it's the referees purposely favouring Fiorentina. I don't complain about refs anymore. However, in that game, it was kind of like, okay, we're not playing well, we're soaking up pressure, but you're kind of just waiting for the moment. Because under David Moyes, when it was going wrong, you were waiting for moments. You were waiting for the back end, just that one moment, that one Jared Bowen moment. Ironically, him scoring a winner and stuff. That one Paquetá moment because he was in good form going into the back of the 22-23 season. Um, that one Antonio moment where he turns up in big games. Antonio didn't have his best game, but whatever. I would say on the day, the defense, Emerson, Sufal, Zuma, and again, Ariola did what he did, whatever, and Jared Bowen, the four defenders and Jared Bowen were the ones that played well. I didn't see enough from Ben Rama that game. Didn't see enough from Declan Rice. Didn't see enough from Suchek, Paquetá, Antonio. None of them played well. But Bowen and the back four played really well. Ariola just did his job. There wasn't really that many clear-cut chances. They had a lot of the ball. We stood in our shape. We were decent in our shape, but we couldn't get hold of the ball in the first half. Within the first half, um, I've watched the game a million times, so I know the game with the back of my hand. They were going for fouls and stuff. They had a lot of the ball, but they were doing shithouse Jose Mourinho, Diego Simeone type of fouls. Um, and listen, that was long. That was long. It was long to go through, but I remained quiet as a spectator throughout. Excuse me, man. I need to blow my nose. But what happened was, as well, um, in that game, we just didn't get the ball. Like I remember the first shot we had was like 10 seconds in. Went for a goal straight at the keeper, cool, whatever. Still should do better. I don't care if it's early in the game. You need to do better with the shots and stuff. The reason why I'm talking about the game so extensive, about the details of the game so extensively as well, is also because uh, my match reaction. If you watch my match reaction to the Fiorentina game, I am literally just talking about emotional stuff because I am so happy that we won the competition. I'm also slightly drunk in that match reaction as well. I'm not completely drunk, but I went to sleep very fine and had a lot of water and also got up for the parade and drunk some more after that. That was a weird time, but we'll get onto that in a sec. We'll get onto the parade. I'm sure we'll probably talk about the parade as well. Probably won't play any bits of the parade just because the music is copyrighted. However, I don't get paid from this stuff anyway because I've not got 500 subscribers. But with the whole game in the first half, I was just silent. I was silent. I was just trying to get through the half. I was trying not to express as many frustrations. I think because I was watching it with my mum downstairs. My mum's a West Ham fan. My dad's a West Ham fan. I was watching it with my mum in this house downstairs, and I think I only made one complaint, and I don't remember what the complaint was about. I just think if we want to win this competition, we got to be better than how we played in the first half. I'm pretty sure that's all I said. Um, when we came back in the second half, I do actually think we were a better team. We were a better team in the second half, but I saw more urgency from Jared Bowen. I saw Vladimir Sufa was great in that second half, in my opinion, just going forward as well. The long throw and that spoiled the whole handball. And it's one of the most blatant handballs ever, but obviously the ref can't see it from his angle. And yeah, I complain about VAR a lot, but if it wasn't for VAR, we would have had that penalty. However, I think without VAR, we would have beaten them anyway because of how fragile they are. Um, it might have gone to penalties, it might have gone to extra time, whatever, but we get to the second half, guys. We get to the second half, um, and it all comes down to these moments. Like it's still 0-0. They had the offside goal. And by the way, I'm pretty sure I was one of the most calmest people during that offside goal. I was like, that's not going in. That's not going in because that's offside. Or it was a foul or whatever. I can't remember. I think it was offside. Um, but I didn't think they had any momentum going into it. I wasn't threatened. Just because you have a lot of the ball doesn't mean you're the better team. And our team was way more expensive than their team. Our team was way more. They had way more final third quality. Antonio is better than anyone they have. Paquetá is. So is Jared Bowen. Uh, maybe not Ben Rama, but Ben Rama was very good that season. He was just still frustrating. But however, with all of that stuff going into it, we go into the second half, and here's what happens, guys. What happens is the fact that we go into it, and we're like, we've got to turn up. We've got to turn up. First trophy in 43 years. Okay, go and do it then. Go and do it. Because you've got to perform better than that. You've got to perform better than that. I still want to see the full video of what Moyes played to the players um, before the final because they showed a bit of it in that award ceremony thing that they have. I'm pretty sure it was at the end of the year award ceremony. But obviously we're not there, so we didn't get to see that. For some reason, they didn't want to put that on YouTube, but whatever in it. Yeah, second half we start. Um, Sufal way better than he is. He takes a long throw in. I think Bowen heads it, and then I think it was the guy with the bandage. I think it might have been Biragi with the guy with his hand out. He handballs it. And forget rules, yeah. That's a handball because his hand goes towards the ball. Simple as that. Um, the problem is now, uh, we have a penalty. We're waiting a long time for the penalty. So the more this goes on, the more you think, are we ever going to see a goal in this game? However, Said Benrahma steps up, and with Said Benrahma, obviously this was before, like this was like 6 months before we beat Arsenal away. So Benrahma hadn't missed a penalty for West Ham at that current moment. But obviously, I was actually very confident in Benrahma scoring, and that goal I did celebrate. And the reason why I specified that I celebrated that goal, I'll get into in a minute. But yes, I celebrated. I was like, yes, come on. And I was so happy. I was like, we're actually going to see this out. Oh, fuck. I think my internet's fucked. Oh, not again. Not again, man. Not again. I'm going to carry on talking. But, okay, hold on. Let me get rid of this. I was going to do something, but I clearly can't do it for this stream. So let me just carry on. But with Benrahma, yeah, that goal, I was very confident. I was very happy. And at that point, I was like, we're going to see this game through at 1-0. And I know what you're thinking. Mike's, what the fuck? Why do you think that that West Ham United are going to see through a game at 1-0? Because usually when we score 3 goals and we're 3-0 up, fuck knows. Fuck knows. Because sometimes it can end in 3-3. Sometimes they can end in a 3-2 just about win. We've seen that before under David Moyes. But I generally thought at that point, and I think I got caught up in the emotions of the fans chanting and cheering and creating an utmost fantastic atmosphere in the stadium. All you could hear was West Ham fans. And with the ability that we sometimes have with our defenders to see out games, sometimes we do have it. I do think that came a bit unstuck throughout the past 2 years. I do think the 2021 season and the 21-22 season, we had the great ability to get a lead in and then see out games apart from that small period of time where we were conceding a bit, when we drew 3-3 to Arsenal and we just about beat Leicester and Wolves 3-2. However, I think overall, especially at the start of the 21-22 season, we was very, very good at seeing out games because it was just a low block and we were good at it. We were good at the low block. However, I think literally 5 minutes later, long ball. They bring on Amrabat's twin brother, Saponara, just another bald guy. that's the same skin color as Amrabat. So I just call him Amrabat's brother. He does look a bit like Amrabat just because he's bald. Um, he comes on. I'm pretty sure he actually puts the ball in. That Saponara guy was actually Fiorentina's best player. Like when they made that sub, he actually changed the game for a bit. Now he actually changed the game for the better for Fiorentina if you're looking at it from a Fiorentina perspective, because he was just popping the ball around. He was trying to find more openings than any other Fiorentina player, because all the Fiorentina players were doing was passing sideways. Amrabat was the only one that was trying to dictate any sort of play. Amrabat was dropping in between the centre backs as he loves to do. But other than that, no one was doing anything for Fiorentina. Um, so yeah, Saponara came on, he changed the game. Cabral came on at halftime. I'm surprised Cabral didn't start for them because he was the top goal scorer of the whole Conference League. So going into that, I was more afraid of Cabral, but I'm pretty sure they started Jokic or the Jovic guy, the guy who played with for Real Madrid for some reason, and the same guy who played with Sebastian Haller at Frankfurt as a front two. So it was that guy. I'm pretty sure he started over Cabral. I don't know why, because Cabral, again, that's set top goal scorer, but maybe he wasn't fully fit and he could only done 45 minutes. Cabral didn't do anything. We locked him out of the game. Kurt Zuma had to come off. Tilo Kehrer came on. Tilo Kehrer held his own as well. Big up Tilo Kehrer, as always. Hope he does well at Monaco. It's a shame that we couldn't, have the right manager. He would have done well under Lopetegui at the time. My stream is lagging again. I'm sorry for the bad connection. I don't know, fuck's sake. But yeah, Tilo Kehrer comes on. He holds his own. Pablo Fornals, I'm pretty sure, came on for Benrahma at one point when they equalised, but a long ball went in, it drops in, and all of a sudden, Bonaventura straight into the back of the net. That's what happens. 1-1 straight away, just like that. And at that point, you're like, well, fuck, you couldn't hold on. I think I literally shouted to my screen, you couldn't hold on for 5 minutes. I think that was what I was saying to. Well, that's what I was shouting at my screen. That was what I was shouting at the TV. You couldn't hold on for 5 minutes, like seriously. But that was what was long. That's what made it long. Because I thought we were going to hold out for the whole game, but no. 5 minutes later, that happens, and then I can't remember who else comes on. So I think we only made 2 subs. I think it was only like before we scored the second goal. So Fornals and Kehrer came on, and I understood Fornals coming on. As soon as I saw Fornals warming up, he wasn't going to come on for Souček, even though he probably should have. It doesn't matter now. We won the cup. But even though Benrahma scored, I knew he was going to come off. There's the typical Moy sub, take off Benrahma, put on Pablo Fornals. Pablo Fornals comes onto the left, his slightly unfavoured position, and whatever. But here's the thing, I'm thinking, you bring on Pablo Fornals on the left for me to see out a game, not to have another opening. But West Ham were getting higher up the pitch, creating more chances, etc. But what was also happening that was they were trying to create more space, Fiorentina. They were trying to hit us more so on the counter because the game was becoming open. Because both teams were like, we need to find a fucking winner. Simple as that. We need to find a winner. But I'm not sure. I'm not necessarily sure that would have happened. I am sorry again for the connection, but that's nothing I can do about it. But with the whole final, obviously a few tactical tweaks happened as well. I'm trying to stay calm because this connection's driving me mad. Paquetá drops deeper. Souček goes higher on the pitch. That's where West Ham are struggling. Go more direct. Have Thomas Souček, the tall guy, go next to the striker. Have Paquetá drop deeper, etc. But that doesn't work. That doesn't necessarily work, but we were just trying to get more goals. I'm pretty sure we had the best chance we had coming up before the second goal was when Antonio was offside. Because there was a chance where Antonio's put through by Paquetá, and the goalkeeper saves it. And you're thinking, well, I know that's offside. That's blatantly off. Anyone could have seen that was offside. Um, Apart from that, didn't have any chances. And then it comes down to the final moment. Part of me wants to show the goal on this stream, but it's probably going to get done for copyright. I want to show the goal. I really do. I want to show the goal, and you'll know what I'm talking about. The ball gets booted up in the air, I'm pretty sure, from the Fiorentina keeper. The ball bounces up in the air. West Ham win the second ball. Lucas Paquetá, Thomas Suchek miskicks the ball. I don't know what he was trying to do, but he miskicks it. Paquetá ball rolls it. They bring on a centre back, by the way. They brought on an Eagle gun and now plays for Brighton. I don't know why they made a centre back change. They brought off the Ranieri gun for Eagle, which, in my opinion, disrupted their whole defence. Paquetá puts through Jared Bowen, and you know what happens next. You know exactly what happens next. Jared Bowen bobbles a goal, goes over the keeper, kind of almost not miskicks it, but it's kicked into the ground. But I'm not sure whether he wanted to do that, and it deflects with the keeper. It goes into the back of the net, and West Ham are begging for this to end. Now, I want to say something here. I said this on Twitter as well. When that goal went in, I didn't celebrate. Now, the reason why I didn't celebrate was because I was in shock. I couldn't believe that it was happening because it was right at the 89th, 90th minute where we put the ball in the back of the net. And when we put the ball in the back of the net, I was like, we need the final whistle now. So when we're all celebrating, my mum's celebrating, but I'm in shock. I haven't said anything. I just said, get to the final whistle now. See out the game. Because I didn't want to celebrate just for them to equalize again and then be disappointed. But I was so in shock on what I was seeing. It's like time was moving so fucking slow. But as soon as Paquetá did put the ball through, I was like, this is going in. Now, when I'm at a West Ham game, yeah, and anyone, it could be Bowen, it could be Antonio, it could be anyone that's ever played for West Ham, it could be prime Jeff Hurst. I am not getting up for a West Ham 1v1 because it doesn't go in. It never goes in. I can remember the last good 1v1 I've seen at the London Stadium. Like when we're put through on goal and that happens. So for West Ham to score 1v1 in general, whether it's Bowen or not, is mad in itself. But Paquetá puts the ball through, and I had a feeling I was just like, he's going to score. But even throughout the game, when we were still 1-1, I had this feeling. I was like, we're going to win this game still. We're going to win it. Because I've been confident throughout the whole tournament. And I'm never confident throughout any game. But I'm thinking, we're going to win this. It's fine. We're going to win this. And I didn't think it was going to go into extra time. Even though it was coming up to 8.5 minutes, I was like, ooh, what if it actually does go into extra time? Well, what's going to happen there? I wasn't confident. I wouldn't have been as confident in the extra time, I'll be honest. But I also don't look in hindsight, looking back, I don't think they would have been as equipped either. I don't think they would have had the same know-how. They seem to be very fragile. And you can see that they didn't learn from their lesson in that final with Olympiacos from what I watched of the extra time part. But this is what we did. We put the ball through, went in, and yeah, get to the final whistle, all of that. I'm pretty sure then Angelo Bonner came on for Antonio. So we're playing a 5-4-1 and Paquetá was up front. Paquetá was putting in tackles. Fornals was putting in tackles. And that added time goes on for so fucking long. And it's partly, yes, because of the VAR. For some reason, it took that long to check an offside or whatever. Obviously, it didn't take as long, but it shouldn't even taken like a minute. It should have taken 5-10 seconds. You can see he's on. I knew he was on. The way BT Sport would try to do the whole replay, it was looking long because like people were like, "Oh my god, what if it's offside?" The problem is under UEFA competitions, they can't show you the straight replay straight away. They can't show you the replay straight away for some reason with VAR. They can't show you the inside with VAR. I don't know why that's a thing, but whatever. He was onside. I knew he was onside. But Paquetá was putting the tackles. Fornals was putting the tackles. Everyone was trying to see out the game. Ariola gets barged. He tries to win the foul. It goes out. We're waiting for the final whistle. But pretty much 2 minutes before the usual added time that they were giving, straight away they give it full time. Fiorentina 1, West Ham United 2. And the first image you see is Ogbonna running. Obviously, great celebrations from David Moyes as well when Jared Bowen's goal went in. When he's celebrating, he's running. I thought that was great. That's what the kind of shit you want to see your manager do. Because I like my manager. I like my managers doing that because like it just adds to the goal. Like when Mourinho, if you guys remember that game where Gerrard slipped, the Liverpool Chelsea game. Obviously, they were both going for the league. Man City ended up winning it. The second goal, where Torres puts through Willian to put it in, Mourinho goes all the way to the Chelsea away end and gives it all of that with the Chelsea badge. I like that kind of stuff. To go full Mourinho, as Moyes said. He couldn't go full Mourinho, but even the run he did, that was enough for me. I like that kind of stuff. That makes the moment so much better. Like you remember that second goal. Like yes, the Gerrard slip takes over that Liverpool Chelsea game, but you remember that second goal because the Mourinho. It adds to it. It adds to the passion and stuff. I'm not even a passion merchant, but I like that kind of stuff when it goes in for big moments. Um, I would have been like when Alan Pardew was beefing Wenger. If I was old enough to realize, then I would have been like, "Yes, Pardew, go on, Alan Pardew." Um, but yeah, and Declan Rice brings his nephew. I'm pretty sure he celebrates with his nephew. Obviously, unfortunately, a couple of fans try and invade the pitch. Stupid guys. Um, doing interviews and stuff. Obviously, Michael Antonio said in an interview, "Parties on me, alcohol's on me." It turns out he's actually went straight to the hotel because of his whole divorce. Hopefully, he's fine now. But I didn't know that until a couple of weeks ago when he did that interview with Jake Humphrey, which I need to watch the full interview of. But yeah, that was sad. That was a bit sad because Antonio deserved that trophy, man. Like I wish he celebrated that, but he was going through some shit, man. Could have taken his mind off it, but of the divorce and stuff. But he went to the parade afterwards. He seemed good after the parade, but uh, yeah, people are Ogbonna. They deserve it. They deserve this trophy. Like obviously Bowen, Ben and Pakistan playing well with the goals and stuff. The manager did well. He deserved the trophy for what he did. He should have left after that. I do maintain that. It should have been the parade should have been his last day as a West Ham manager. Um, but obviously, when full time goes, I am celebrating. I am so happy with the whole thing. I couldn't believe it. I was still kind of in shock. I was screaming, but I was still in shock. Do you know the Alkmaar game, the Alkmaar away game, and the Fiorentina game? I've never been more nervous in my life, and I was that nervous that when the game ended, don't get me wrong, I wanted to go full Mourinho myself, but I was that drained. I was that emotionally drained. I was almost like, oh, like that, like just like that. Like, that's how I felt. I just felt calm afterwards. Felt at peace. That's how I felt. The reason why I felt at peace because it was that emotionally draining, trying to support your team, going through all of that, and then your moment finally comes and it actually goes the way you want it to. But that and it just makes you emotionally drained. I don't know whether anyone else feels like that with games, but that's how emotionally drained I was. I was that nervous. I was tired. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. But then obviously the trophy lift. I've still got a video on my. Joel, let me get the video on my phone. Let me get the video on my phone. If you're still on the stream, there's two people watching. Thank you for the two people that are watching. Make sure to like the video. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna get the video up. I need to charge my phone. My phone's on 13%. I've been out all day, so the stream would have been earlier if I wasn't out and doing stuff. But um, I have the video on my phone of I had to film my reaction to the trophy lift. It wasn't my face, but it was me going obviously like that to the trophy lift and stuff. But I couldn't tell you how happy I was. But that hold on. I sounded like Harry Kane there, but that was my full reaction to that when Rice lifted the trophy and stuff. Um, like, how do you describe those moments to a non-football fan that doesn't understand football when you go through that shit with your club? You know what we've seen at this club, yeah. Now, don't get me wrong, yeah. I haven't seen as many relegations as the older fans yet, but what I will say to the older West Ham fans, some of you have seen Trevor Brooking, some of you have seen Billy Bonds, some of you have even seen Bobby Moore, some of you have seen Jeff Hurst, some of you have seen Martin Peters, some of you got that small not Jacob Greaves, fucking hell, Jimmy Greaves spell at West Ham. Some of you got to see Paulo Di Canio at West Ham. I've seen Payet, I've seen Bryce, Bowen, Noble, Antonio. Those are probably the top 5 players I've seen at West Ham. Uh, yeah, I saw a little bit of Scott Parker. Like, I haven't seen much at West Ham. Like, I've not been through the through the shit, ultimate shit, but there's been some big shit. You know, losing to Wimbledon in the cup, losing to Oxford in the cup, losing to fucking everyone in the cup, in multiple English cups. uh, Roger Johnson playing for my football club, Carlos Sanchez playing for my football club, Jose Font playing for my football club, Havard Nordveit playing for my football club. Who else? Pablo Armero, Razvan Rat. Who the fuck are these players? Who the fuck is Nocerino? I still don't know who Nocerino is till this day. I still don't know who Mario Borriello is. I still don't know who Borriello is. We signed randomly Wellington Paulista. Um, you know, all the sagas that I've seen at West Ham. Avram Grant, like relegation. That was my first time I went to Upton Park. Um, and he didn't even get on the coach and all that. We got relegated by Wigan. I remember watching that game as a kid on Sky Sports. My mum was cooking in the kitchen. I was staring at the screen as a kid, thinking, "Please, can we not get relegated?" We was probably going to get relegated regardless of that game. It was just that game confirmed it. Um, Danny Gabidon haven't like even coming out on BT saying that they didn't want to let the owners didn't want to let Avram Grant on the bus, but Scott Parker made him go on. Do you know what? I don't like the owners, but fuck it, fuck Avram Grant, bro. The whole Allardyce era where Allardyce actually stabilised us, but him and the fans kept warring every week because of the football. I remember being at Upton Park. Every time the ball would go in the air from the centre backs, the fans shouted "fuck off," like and all that. I remember I was there. I was there. Like but I remember I was next to my dad, and my dad explained to me, why do they keep putting it in the air all the time? Keep it on the floor sometimes. That's when you get to understand the game when you're young and you're just like that. Seeing Upton Park go, seeing your home, you're pretty much your second home, go, disappear into the London Stadium. I went to the first season at the London Stadium, then I stopped going because I was fucking sick of that stadium. The 17-18 season, the very next season, fans running on the pitch, the whole Burnley era when that Burnley game when Moyes was first there for the first time, Bilic getting sacked, that Liverpool at home game, the Brighton at home game in that season. Like that 17-18 season was hell. 18-19 season had some good moments, had some bad moments, but everyone was patient because Pellegrini's first season. However, we lost to Wimbledon that season. We lost 4-2. The fucking 1920 season, the biggest shit show, one of the biggest shit shows where I can't believe we didn't get relegated that season. We were literally saved by COVID. The reason why we didn't get relegated is because of COVID. They Moyes had more time to address his shit in weird circumstances. Moyes and the players kept us up, and we had some good moments. The Norwich away game, the Chelsea at home game, etc. To then go to the Grady Dean Garner saga after that. But to then get European season upon European season and stuff. Like we've had so many weird eras with Andy Carroll getting injured, making a sandwich, and Enna Valencia doing mad shit. Matt Jarvis advertising the kit with cereal. Like it's been some weird shit at West Ham. Like Rob Snodgrass when he got called out by David Gold, or no, can't remember if it was David Gold or David Sullivan. called Robert Snodgrass shit and Jose Font shit live on Twitter, and Snodgrass was still at the club on loan to Aston Villa. Like, we've just been a circus ever since I've supported this club. So to see that moment, I know I went on a bit of a ramble, but I had to give you the major context of supporting this club. That's how you explain to a fan that doesn't understand football what it's like to go through these kind of moments. It was so good. It was so good for to go through. I remember when you win a trophy, obviously, you know, pricks that never made it to proper football like Jason Cundy would obviously he's going to put it down to wind West Ham fans up. However, you're never going to take that moment away from me. I'm probably going to watch the game as soon as I turn this off. I am probably going to watch the game again and again and again and again for as long as I want to watch the game. I've got it recorded on my TV. It's on YouTube. I can watch the game whenever I want to watch the game. The only thing I'm sad about is that I don't get to watch the Alkmaar game again because I want to rewatch the full highlights tonight. If I ever find that Alkmaar game, I will want to watch that again because you only get the you only get the highlights and stuff, and that doesn't hit the same. But that's the year anniversary of the whole thing. But let's get to the parade. I want to talk about the parade, and then we'll end it. Then we'll end the stream. It's a bit of a fun stream, you know. I might do a video tomorrow talking about. I'll do a video tomorrow talking about the Lewis Gilherme stuff. Maybe. I don't know what my video is going to be tomorrow. I might make a video about England as well. We'll have a look. Obviously we're linked to a goalkeeper as well. I don't know how. We'll see what the news comes out tomorrow. And depending on that, I'll make a video. Um, so the day after, for some reason, the club wanted to do the parade straight after. A day after, there were some heroes out in the fan base that were at Prague in the stadium and in the parade as well. So well done to them. Uh, I went straight to Stratford with my mum and her friend and stuff, all West Ham fans, and we were quite close to the bus. Like I was standing in it, I forgot to stretch beforehand, so my legs were killing me. I was standing in the same place for about 4 or 5 hours, however long it was, because it took about 2 hours to wait for them to come here, and then the parade was what the parade was. We were standing there for 2 or 3 hours in the same place. It was crap, but it was worth it. And then, hold on, give me a sec. This flag right here, that flag here. I'm not going to take it out because it's stuck somewhere, but hold on, let me get out of the way. Uh, hold on, let me do this hand. Wait, how am I going to do this? That flag there is from the parade. Walking back from the parade, you get that flag. The parade was fun. Declan Rice was swearing on TV. We knew it was going to be his last game. We knew it was going to be his last game for the club. But what a way to have your last game at a club. I still like Declan Rice. I don't think he's a snake for moving to Arsenal because when has West Ham to Arsenal ever been a sneaky move? People pretended that they hated Arsenal before the Declan Rice stuff. You've only just hopped on the wave, my friend. I am a long-time hater of Arsenal Football Club. I'm not going to call Declan Rice a snake now, nor do I think he's a legend at the club. I don't think he's evil. I just think he's a cult hero for me. For me, he's a cult hero. Done a lot for the club. One of the few players that we had that was actually really fucking good and didn't throw a strop to get his move upwards. Do I think he should have moved to Man City? Well, Man City should have fucking bidded, what Arsenal bidded. And then if Declan Rice could decide between those two clubs, then I would blame Declan Rice more for choosing Arsenal. But he didn't choose Arsenal, did he? Because City didn't pay the same price as fucking Arsenal. Arsenal paid the money. Well done to Arsenal for paying the money. I'm sure Arsenal fans will be happy with the fact that they paid the fucking money. But I don't know whether Arsenal fans would want to brag about Declan Rice choosing them over Man City, but not only is it not true, it's not something to brag about because you're not winning anything and Man City are winning it all. Not it all, but the league. That's what you want to win, right? Moving on from Declan Rice, Tilo Kehrer. If there was a man of the match of a parade, if that was ever a thing, then Tilo Kehrer, my friend, was the man of the match of the parade. He was like, I don't have I'm not a man of a lot of words, but I just want to say a few things. Irons, and then you know the rest. You've seen the clip. The West Ham are massive everywhere we go. I wish Kara stayed, but I wish Moyes fucking played him. Then again, doesn't suit a low block, does he? But love Kara. Always will love Kara. I backed him up when he was making mistakes. Big up Tilo Kara. Um, Suchek was funny at the parade because he got put under pressure. And I remember, they were like, "Oh, Suchek wants to say something. Let Thomas say something." He didn't know what the fuck to say. He was like, "West Ham are massive everywhere we go." Ben Rama, Pakitan Zuma were dancing to every chant, every song. They managed to somehow make a bop to "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles." They somehow managed to dance to that song. Nobody danced. We just wave our hands in the air. Pakistan has got that much rhythm in his dance. They managed to dance to that tune, bro. I've sung "Freed from Desire" about 5 times that day. I sung "I'm Forever Blowing Bubbles" about 20 times that day. I sung other songs about 20 times that day. Like, what a time that was. By the way, if you want to watch the full parade at Stratford, go on my YouTube channel and you'll find it. You'll find the full parade right there. Um, but that was a great time. That was a fantastic time. I don't think I've missed anything. I don't think I missed anything. What I'm going to do, I'm going to watch back all the moments from Prague. I want to watch back all the thing. I've still got it in my bookmarks somewhere, but I need to go back through a whole year of bookmarks. So that's going to be a long thing to do, but I'll do it somehow. Even if it takes me an hour, even if it takes me 2 hours, I will get there. Thank you to everyone that watched the stream. Thank you very much. I'm gonna end it there. I hope you're happy with the stream because I'm sorry it was lagging, but my internet has been stinky for the past week or two. So whatever. Innit? I will see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Leave a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. I do a video every day or stream every day. So check out the Bowen video I did about reacting to him getting into the England squad. And yeah, I'll see you guys later.